Well, while Gavin Newsom prepares to be recalled after spending all of his time, making sure that the power grid in California doesn't work, wild, out of control wildfires because, well, he doesn't want to practice any real land management because, well, he's just Gavin Newsom, and all of the oppressive restrictions that he has placed on Californians. But hey, this week he said you can now leave your house to walk to the end of your driveway and get the mail. Wow! Liberty is coming to California. So while Gavin Newsom, who thought, edicts like people ought to be allowed to have afros and cornrows and not face any type of restriction on their personal appearance, while he thought that was important, and while Governor Cuomo over on the East Coast was lecturing everybody on how well he handled the coronavirus, and then we find out that he killed far more old people than he even acknowledged, and basically he's telling us it's no big deal. Governor DeSantis in Florida, well, he's doing what a governor ought to do, is looking out for his people and defending the Constitution.
Over the years, however, these platforms have changed from neutral platforms that provided Americans with the freedom to speak to enforcers of preferred narratives. Consequently, these platforms have played an increasingly decisive role in elections and have negatively impacted Americans who dissent from orthodoxies favored by the big tech cartel. And we have seen the power of their censorship over individuals and organizations, including what I believe is clear viewpoint discrimination. And as these companies have grown and their influence expanded, big tech has come to look more like Big Brother with each passing day. But this is 2021, not 1984, and this is real life, not George Orwell's fiction. So today we announced during this legislative session that we will seek to do the following. Ensure that Floridians are safeguarded against these practices from technology companies by requiring proper notice and disclosure of these changes to the standards and full disclosure of any actions taken against a user for violating the standards. We'll also seek to prevent these platforms from rapidly changing these standards and applying them unequally against users. We'll also require that users be provided the option to opt out of the various algorithms these platforms use to steer content, or in many cases, suppress content from the view of other users. But these provisions are of no use without enforcement, and we will provide recourse for Floridians both by enabling a user to bring a cause of action against a technology company for violating these requirements of Florida law and empowering the Attorney General to bring action against the technology company for violations of these requirements under Florida's Unfair and Deceptive Trade Practices Act. We've also seen the breadth of big tech's influence on campaigns and elections. While there wasn't a state in the union that ran a better election than Florida last year, we still saw on a national scale how articles, candidates, and content had the thumbprints of big tech executives all over them. You can look no further than the last several months of the election as coordinated, calculated efforts were undertaken to advance an increasingly evident political agenda of the big tech companies. The problem is, these companies are playing a significant role in the advancement of issues and candidates, but do so without recording many of their efforts for what they are, political contributions. If I were to give something of value to a candidate or political committee, it would be a contribution. But big tech has been manipulating news content and designing algorithms to give the upper hand to their candidates of choice, and they do so scot-free. Again, euphemistically called content moderation. I think it's more political manipulation. That's why in Florida we're going to take action, we're going to take aim at those companies and pull back the veil and make sure these guys don't continue to find loopholes and gray areas to live above the law. Under our proposal, if a technology company deplatforms a candidate for elected office in Florida during an election, a company will face a daily fine of $100,000 until the candidate's access to the platform is restored. Again, any Floridian can deplatform any candidate they choose. You simply unsubscribe, and it's a right that I believe belongs with the citizen. Further, if a technology company promotes a candidate for office against another, the value of that free promotion must be recorded as a political campaign contribution enforced by the Florida Elections Commission. And lastly, if a technology company uses their content and user-related algorithms to suppress or prioritize the access of any content related to a political candidate or cause on the ballot, that company will also face daily fines.
Boom! That is epic. That is so nuclear. That is awesome. Way to go, Mr. Governor. You know, I lived in Florida for 9 years. Love Florida. Love the people there. Have a lot of friends still there. I'm on radio in the Orlando, Daytona Beach radio markets. I love Florida. I'll be back there in a few weeks for a little respite and to see my kids who still reside there. I'm really looking forward to it. I love the Sunshine State. And I love the fact that they have a real Republican. I live in a state that is the state is very strong for Donald Trump. In fact, we have congressmen in our state proposing making June 14th holiday Donald Trump Day. Because it's also Flag Day, but it also happens to be Donald Trump's birthday. But our governor, Mike DeWine, coming out every day in his mask and telling us we're all going to die from coronavirus, and you gotta do better. You've got to. By the way, one of the first Republicans to wish congratulations to Joe Biden. Yeah, because there were so many Democrats that did that for Donald Trump when he got elected. See, these wormy little weasels. You know why DeWiner did that? Well, I make sure that, I get money for Ohio, and I don't want Joe Biden being mad at us because we all voted for Trump. Well, my constituents did. I didn't, but the people of Ohio did. But I've already told Joe privately, my people are kind of stupid. That's Mike DeWiner. So while some of us have to put up with rhino governors and others of you are living with flaming libloons running your states, Florida has a guy that really has taken charge during COVID. He didn't go through all kinds of draconian lockdowns, and Florida is doing very well. And now he's going after big tech because, again, Congress didn't. Oh, you love that? $100,000 per day fines? Oh, baby, that is, oh. Now you say, well, what if it gets passed? How are they going to enforce it? Trust me, if DeSantis is giving this speech and dropping this bomb, number one, he knows he's got the votes. And number two, baby, his AG will enforce it. Now, former governor Charles Crist has decided he may throw his hat back in the ring and run against DeSantis. Now, Charlie Crist was a Republican, and then he magically became a Democrat, and he works for a law firm there in Florida, Morton & Morton, for the money. That's not really the name. Some of you people from Florida will get it. Some of you might have to look it up. Who? Morton & Morton, for the money. And now, if he thinks that coming back with a flaming liberal message, because he's going to recapture Florida and take it away from the Trump people, he got another thing coming. But kudos and God bless Governor DeSantis. Thank you for taking the stand. And yes, it is time for these big tech platforms to be regulated. I have been saying this for at least 2 years and maybe 3. They need to be regulated just like we regulate any utility. The phone company, the power company. The power company doesn't get to decide, yeah, I don't like that group and what they represent. We're not going to give them electricity. The phone company doesn't get to say, we're not going to supply phones to the KKK. And I'm not defending those organizations. I've said it before and I'll say it again. The First Amendment was given not to protect the speech we all agree with. It was to protect the speech we don't agree with. Liberals used to believe that too. The ACL used to defend that. Now, they're all just part of the entire propaganda, and the Biden administration has announced the era of big government is back. 2022 cannot come fast enough. Hey, that's it for this little quick rant. Make sure you give us a like, give us a thumbs up. Make sure you're still subscribed to my YouTube channel. Check me out over here. It's really cool over there. And I need to get my subscription base up there. So let's really, even if you don't go to that platform, go there, join it so you can subscribe to my channel there. It's Pastor Marty, same channel name there, same bat channel here. And make sure that you have smacked the bell, click the word all to get notification of my next rant.